Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Moyna Bass Fishes. I am Jim Moyna, professional bass fisherman. In this video, we are going to discuss my second day of practice here at the 2024 Bassmaster Open on Leech Lake, which is 1 hour from my house. All right, so on day one, I focused on smallmouth. Day two, which was today, again, I focused on smallmouth. Today was horrible, absolutely horrible. I could not, uh, I could not get bites. Period. I probably by the end of the day, I might have had, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 bites. Some of them I shook off. I don't know if they could have been walleye. I don't know. A lot of walleye. My goodness, there's a lot of walleye out here. Uh, it's just, I mean, this lake is not really a, I wouldn't call this like a bass lake. I'd call this a walleye lake that has bass in it. So, um, but anyhow, the smallmouth was just real tough. But I don't know. I mean, I've added a couple. I mean, I did add a couple spots where I could maybe go to. Um, they are little groups of them. Um, like you'll see 5 or 6 together at times, but getting them to bite was kind of tough, and I'm really not sure if I have the best presentations going, and that's the killer with uh, with forward sonar and smallmouth. I get sucked into trying to. It really can. It really erodes my confidence because you see so many smallmouth that won't bite your bait, and that's very corrosive to confidence, especially my confidence, which is always fragile to begin with. So, um, yeah. So of course, I did see some fish that would swim up to my bait, not bite it. Fish that I believe were smallmouth, not walleyes, because you see like 100 times more walleyes than you do smallmouth. So most of the time you are just looking at walleye, but then every once in a while you'll come across what I believe are smallmouth. So lots of walleyes out here, and we had a an appearance by old Mr. Musky today. Actually, a couple of them. Well, one for sure, and he or she. It's the old phenomena that I call the peaker, and me and some friends of mine we call muskies peakers because what they'll do is they'll swim up to the surface at a distance from you. Usually it's about like a long cast or so, and or not sometimes not even that far. But they'll come up and they'll swim with their head out of the water, just looking at you. They're looking. They'll be perfectly sideways to you, so they can see you with one eyeball. And this looked like really a full grown muskie. This one, holy, because I just saw his head out of the water, and man, he had a huge head on him, really big, and he was just out of range of my forward sonar. I got my forward sonar set at 70, and he was probably at like about 100 to 120 feet away. So interesting. But then I also saw a couple other fish on forward sonar that I believe were muskies, which I hadn't been seeing anything. I haven't been seeing any muskies on my forward sonar the first day. Now today, I'm pretty sure I saw like 2 or 3. So besides the peaker muskie. So that's cool. And just I've probably mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. Leech Lake is the the lake where I caught my first muskie ever. A 46.5 inch, 21.5 pound muskie. It was long. It was long and lean. It was a big male, giant male. Um, Caught it back. I think it was 1980 when I caught it. I was between 9th and 10th grade. Caught it off of an area called the Red Rocks on a Lindy muskie tandem. So I'll never forget that fight. It was a heck of a fight. And I was using a bait casting reel that it had no anti-reverse. So when that thing started ripping line, my handle like spun with the line and really just it really banged. It just banged the heck out of my hand and my knuckles. I'll never forget that. And the jumping and the running that fish. Oh my gosh. One of the best fights I've ever had out of a fish was that first muskie. Much better than my biggest muskie ever, which was a 50 inch. I got two 50 inchers, but for sure, probably better fighter than either one of those two. So anyhow, what else? Okay, what else about today? It was flat calm, and there was a huge hatch of these little tiny gnats today, and literally my boat was plastered with thousands upon thousands of these things. It seems like they hatched out in the morning and up until about maybe midday, and then I don't think any more were hatching. But it was crazy. These things were like plastered everywhere. So, and they're tiny, tiny little gnats. Nothing that a smallmouth's going to feed on. So, anyhow, and then I caught several crayfish. There's rusty crayfish out here, and they're always good for grabbing onto baits that are being dragged down the bottom. So, probably caught like 7 or 8 of those today. No northerns, no walleye. I did not catch a walleye. Although, like I said, there were a couple fish that I shook off. They were baits that I had cut the hook, so I really don't know what they were, but who knows. All right, so as far as tomorrow goes, I got 2.5 more days to practice, and I don't know. I feel like I want to do another day of smallmouth, really, even though it's killing me. But if I get enough spots, I can rotate on them. And if you can get 10 spots and you catch one off of every other spot, well, that's 5 fish. So anyhow, but yeah, I want to catch more than 5 though, because you always got to have room for error. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get just 5 bites and hopefully they're all big and they all get in the boat. You want to get 10 bites. A couple will be small. One might get away. So I like to have room for error on that sort of thing. All right. Yeah, so tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to go for largemouth or smallmouth tomorrow. I don't know. I'll just wake up. I got to check the weather forecast and kind of see how that's shaping up. As we get closer to the tournament days, the weather forecast, the reliability of it gets better and better with each coming day. So we'll check that. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say for tonight. So thanks for watching. Over and out.